Hey cycling community, this is Steve Grussis of Cycling Greek. My intent for this ride was for it to be polarized. Specifically, I wanted to do 80% of it very easy and 20% of it very hard. Before we see how I did, let's talk a little bit about polarized training. If you're as old as I am, you've probably learned about the 5 or 7 training zones based on FTP. Polarized training is based on 3 zones. The top of the first zone is bordered by the first lactate threshold. This is where lactate starts to be produced above your normal base amounts. The top of the second zone is bound by the second lactate threshold. This is where you start to produce more lactate than you can filter out. This is what we commonly refer to as a lactate threshold, which is our FTP. Let's take a look at my numbers. Since I want my ride to be 80% at zone 1, that means I can't go over 165 watts, and my heart rate should be below 123 beats, definitely below 115 beats. For the hard stuff, which is going to be not the other 20%, because I'm going to allow about 5% to go in zone 2. For zone 3, I want about 15%. And so that means I'm going to be above my FTP of 276. I'm going to be above 90% of my heart rate, my max heart rate of 147. My first hour and a quarter on the way to meet the group, I was well within my zone 1 parameters. The beginning 30-minute flat section with the group also saw me within my zone 1 parameters. So far for the ride, I am 145 in and well within my zone 1 parameters. Things are looking good so far. Now the hard stuff's about to begin. After we turn left here, we're going to go for a little bit, and then I'm going to climb Broken Bridge, which is just under 4/10 of a mile and 146 feet of elevation. I decided to go toward the front because I'm an old guy and now just a little too heavy. I'm hoping to set a strong enough pace where the young bucks behind me will be happy just to have me at the front. However, from the start, I can see that this was not going to happen. Now I can just hope to hang on with the group. Once I attached to these guys, I was on the edge for quite a few minutes, and I was in danger of being dropped. I barely hung on. For these 5 minutes, I averaged 280 watts and 147 BPM. Man, it seemed like a lot more. For the next 9+ miles in 36 minutes, I averaged chasing about 228 watts and 134 BPM. Not very strong, but I was getting pretty reamed. But still, this was zone 2. So it wasn't zone 1, wasn't zone 3. At 36 minutes, I used up my 5% in zone 2. When I got to the turnaround, I quickly got some water and took in a couple of hammer gels. I wanted to start on the way back, just so I could do some zone 1, settle down a bit before these guys were racing back and caught me. After almost 8 miles, I logged in another 30 minutes at zone 1 with 110 watts and 105 BPM averages. It was Grupo Compacto, and I was requiring more power to stay with these guys. After the connection, even though I was riding wheels, being with these fast guys put me in zone 2. Soon thereafter there was a split, and I was back to riding zone 1, and I did that for the last hour and a half to get home. Even though I wanted to do 80, 5, and 15 for zone 1, 2, and 3 respectively, I ended up with 72, 26, and 2. Still, I got a lot of benefit from this ride. It's tough doing a polarized ride riding with a group. I'll have the Strava link for this ride in the description below. Do you guys do any polarized rides? How's it work out for you? Comment below and let me know. Remember, comment, like, subscribe. The Cycling Greek.